Silver and gold history being written right now, and we get to experience it together. And we have some massive stories to cover today. The big hits just keep coming. We're going to talk about Japan. We're going to talk about China. We're going to talk about the billionaire out of Hong Kong. We're going to talk about one of the biggest bullion dealers in the world. And all of this, right, gives us proof and examples why we could still be in the very early stages of this rally for gold and silver. And again, we're going to do it together because that's what we love to do. Thank you for joining me down here in the basement. We've been getting together for years now, and I want you to come back. So please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section so we can learn about you because you are the most important part. Super chats are always super appreciated. Absolutely never expected. Let's go out and take a look right now at the live price of silver and gold. Gold was up big this morning. Silver was down, but we're hitting record. Upstairs, Susie just chirped in right before I came on and said, new all-time high in gold. I mean, guys, things are happening at rapid pace. We're going to move through it all today. Here we go. We are going to head out to Kitco. And as you can see, for those of you who are new, this is the world spot price. Supposedly the physical price for silver. Oh, wow. Silver came back only down 2 cents. It was down like $1 earlier. So 94.45, and the gold price, unbelievable, up. Is that $86 per ounce at $4,780. Now let's go out and look at the futures price. Hold on here. Get that off the screen of silver and see where we are in terms of backwardation or contango. So the spot price of silver is 94.45, and the futures price should be higher, which it's not. Okay, we're at 94.17. This is the, for those of you who are new, the March futures price. The futures price should be lower, which it's not. I'm sorry, should be higher, which it's not. I'm backwardated in my own mind. So when the spot price of silver, the immediate price, the physical price is higher than the futures price, we are in a state of backwardation. We're not deep into backwardation, but it's a very rare occurrence. And what it means is maybe some people speculate that there's some concern about the future deliverability of that silver in March. I won't speculate any further. I mean, gosh, like there's not like there's a physical run on silver going on or anything, is there? We'll take a look at that here in a second as well. But next, let's go to China. And yes, we are getting all-time highs. We can't even keep up with it in the silver and gold market. But let's go out to China to get an update on the price of silver. Not the price of tea. My mom used to say that. Maybe your mom did too, the price of tea in China. This comes from King Kong 9888. And our friend, the Oriental Ghost, has been absent for about a week. We hope he's okay, and we look forward to his future updates as well. But today, okay, on the Shanghai Gold Exchange, and there's a big reason why this is double important. The SGE right there, the Shanghai Gold Exchange, is the spot market in China. Pretty much, from what I understand, like 90 to 99%, all backed by physical metal. Okay, that price in red right now in China, $103.38 in US dollars per troy ounce equivalent. And he goes through all the calculations below. And Eric Young, King Kong 98888888 is great, right? And a super reliable source of information, highly respected. But wait, there's more. Okay, because on the Shanghai Gold Exchange benchmark price at loadout, this is what people would actually have to pay to get it out of the Shanghai Gold Exchange with the value added tax, because they have a VAT over there, is actually $116.80 per ounce. Let me look you in the eye. Let's remember a couple key things. China is taking over the price discovery mechanism for silver. We can throw India in there as well. They both have 1.8 billion people. If you add those together, you get 2.8 billion people. They both have rapidly expanding economies that need a lot of silver. Okay, and this is the physical price in China, in the East. Wake up, paper market, COMEX and the LBMA. We're in a new reality. Okay, it's a new world. We're going to talk more about that in a second. What's mainstream media? This is great. This is critical for us to understand when we're looking at the silver price. This is a very simple statement from the mother silver ape. Okay, silver prices keep rising. Yes, check. In yellow, mainstream media, quote unquote, financial experts say silver is overbought. Look at the chart. Look at the RSI index, blah, blah, blah. But then, right, we watch silver prices rise again. It's like the Weeble. The Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. And again, this is the key part. Maybe silver isn't overbought. Maybe silver was always tremendously underpriced. So again, the reason why we want to talk about this, hold on here. Hopefully I didn't lose you. We're having some tech issues. Bear with me here. The reason we want to talk about this is because we are in a new world. The top people, I believe I heard Michael Oliver say this as well, right? The king of gold and silver price predictions. He said it, right? We're in like a new pricing atmosphere, a new world, a new paradigm, however you want to call it. It's like the beach ball held underwater. They manipulated the price of silver and gold, but mostly silver, for years and years and decades. They kept it pushed down. There's no big supply. Guess what? Guess what, guys? Buckle up. There's no new big supply of silver that's going to magically appear. Right? They cooked their own goose. They kept the price like a beach ball. Imagine a beach ball held underwater, and finally now the silver price appears to be breaking out. Okay, I think more than appears to be breaking out. I think we can confidently say has been breaking out. And people, okay, hold on here. Oh, now we're going to shift gears for 1 second. Okay, we talk about the short-term factors influencing the precious metals prices are important, but we want to look at according to YouTube and Google, if you're a basement dweller down here with me, you're sophisticated. I'm going to keep this down here. This was a report that I got from YouTube, right? It says your audience is not just sophisticated, you are highly sophisticated. So we're going to take a broader view, the macro. There are two big, crazy macro factors right now that are like the massive tailwind to the precious metals. All these short-term factors are important. China, India, blah, blah, blah. But there's a big, massive macro factor, and that is that people are piling into, I'll share this with you right now. This was actually from Peter Schiff. As global investors dump the U.S. dollar, dump stocks, and dump bonds. Oh, gosh, we got to talk about that today as well. The stock market's down. Big reason why that's important that silver and gold are doing well on a day when the stock market's down. But we'll get to that later. They're dumping all those things, dollar, stocks, and bonds. They're piling into gold and silver. Remember that analogy we always talked about, like the Titanic sinking? Like that was kind of the world monetary and fiscal system, and that we were the first ones that were in the lifeboat. And now everybody on the Titanic is rushing to get into the lifeboats. We're already in our lifeboat. We're already safely away from the Titanic. Okay, I'm sorry. Sending both silver and gold to new record highs. Gold is over 4,725 and silver was over 95.15 when he wrote this. The race to get out of U.S. assets is on. It's a race that you cannot afford to lose. So the big message here, guys, aren't it? Sorry, guys, the streaming software keeps screwing up on me. Hopefully you can see me and hear me. If you can't, please let upstairs Susie know, my lovely and talented assistant. There she is. Everybody say hi to Susie. People are getting out of bonds. That's the big story. Okay, thank you, Susie. Next, we're going to hear about what's going on in Japan, which is a big story, which is going to continue to create a tailwind for silver, for gold. But interest rates are up on bonds, okay? Look, I don't want to get too fancy on you here, but when interest rates go up on bonds, the only reason that happens is because the price of the bonds are going down. The only reason the price of the bonds are going down is because people are selling them. More people are selling than are buying. That's what's happening right now. It's happening on a big, big scale. It's happening on a geopolitical level. It's crazy what is going on. Let's go look and get this headline out of Japan. Okay. And this has to do with the yen carry trade. The JGB, which is the Japanese bond market, okay, has imploded just as expected. You have been warned. Look at the rates, okay, this is a 30-year Japanese bond, now almost up to 4%. It's exploding. Okay. People are getting out of the US dollar bonds, out of all these fiat dollar bonds. At least that's the trend that we're seeing right now, right? Because there is such two big factors, two big macro factors. We've got geopolitical turmoil in the world right now, like no other time in history. There's a scramble from countries to get their hands on real assets. Print money all you want. That's what China's doing. Buy real assets. But there's a geopolitical turmoil like no other time in history. But wait, there's more. Because have you considered, not only do we have geopolitical turmoil, but we've got fiscal turmoil. We've got financial turmoil. We have debt turmoil. Like no other time in history, there's more debt in the world. It's not just the United States of America, although we've done a fine job. Our good friend, where is he? I'm sorry, you guys keep yelling at me, right? Our old friend Jerome Powell, right? And the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, and now Scott Bessent have put the United States in the position where we have all this debt, but it's the whole world. Think about that. People are losing confidence in these fiat currencies. People are losing confidence in the US dollar. And then we've got all this turmoil going on with Europe and the European countries saying, well, we're going to sell our bonds, or the threat that we'll sell our bonds. Guys, it's crazy. The big takeaway here is that it creates an environment where gold and silver are very attractive. Now let's look at one of the biggest things that could be happening today right now is we're having a very big green day in the precious metals sector in general. Okay. Because yesterday was a big up day for silver, but what's going on over here, make sure, hold on a minute. Sorry, wrong screen. Now you're on the correct screen. This is Yahoo Finance. And what's going on over here, I got to move this. Okay. Right. There's the S&P 500. We'll just look at that. Down 1.5%. The Dow down 1.3%. The NASDAQ down almost 2% on a day when the metals are doing well. Why is that important? Right? Because it used to be that the metals would follow what the general markets did. If we've got a day where the price of bonds are going down, people are getting out of bonds, people are getting out of the stock market, then what are they going to do? We talked about this down here years ago, even months ago, right? It's like going to the menu of available places for people to put their money, their value, to protect themselves. It's like going to a restaurant and everything's sold out, right? They're going to be looking around saying, what do I do? Real estate's in a bubble. The stock market's in a bubble. Bonds are in a bubble. All those things are not doing too well. Over there in the corner, we used to joke around, the 2% of people in the world that know, like you and me, gold and silver. That's the answer. Now, those people, and we're going to look at the 2% later, and we're going to look at a lot more stuff. Those 98% of people that stayed on the Titanic when the boat started, it'll never sink. It'll always be okay. They have recency bias. Right? Those are the people that watch CNN. Nothing against if you watch CNN or Fox News or the mainstream media, and they just watch about, when they start to wake up, and sheep warning noise, we affectionately refer to those people as the sheeple. When that herd, and it's a big herd, comes to join us, since we're only 2%, let's say it goes to 8% of people, right, in the world are into gold and silver. That's a 3 or 4 times increase in the number of people that are into the precious metals. Okay, we looked at Japan. Please, though, be responsible. I'm not a financial advisor, right? No matter what you do with any of your investments, consider what I say, consider what other people say, consider, most importantly, what you say. Because remember, if you watch this channel, according to Google Analytics, Gemini, which is the smartest thing in the world, yes, you can look in the mirror and smile today because they have told me you are highly sophisticated. And I knew that all along. I used to say, you've got a little more intellectual horsepower than the average bear. All right, let's go here. Okay. One of the biggest names, right? And this is on the platform X, in overall kind of general financial economic news, right? 1.2 million followers. Are we going to listen to them? Yes. Are they permabulls on gold and silver? No. But listen to what they had to say about silver. Hold on here. Here it is, I believe. Hopefully I'm sharing that up. We're having some tech issues. Now we're back. Okay. The Kobesi letter. Okay. Guys, look, there it is right there. 1.2 million people follow them on X. The $1 million question, speaking of millions, what happens to silver? Question mark. Right? Because people are saying, it's overbought, is blah, blah, blah. We already covered that. Silver's not necessarily overbought. Bonds have been getting crushed, and crypto remains highly volatile, solidifying gold and silver as global safe havens right now. More uncertainty, less stability, and fragmented global trade are a safe haven's best friend. What we've got here, guys, why this is so important is we have a confluence, a coming together of factors like no other time in my life. I don't know about you in your life, but a confluence of factors that are supportive for gold and silver. Asset owners will keep winning. And then we'll look at this chart that they pointed out. Some interesting developments. This is the silver price, right? Trump started in office, tariff threats, then Liberation Day, right here. The third box, U.S.-China quote-unquote trade deal. October of 2025, U.S.-China 100% tariff threat. And now Trump pushes for Greenland. It's just happening all around us like never before. Next, we're going to hear from one of the world's biggest bullion dealers. Some scary news out of them. We got a Hong Kong double feature. Probably should almost be a Hong Kong triple feature, but about silver and gold that absolutely shocking. Then we're going to talk some more about what's going on in the silver mining sector and what that could mean for the overall silver market, including the silver, physical silver price. Right now, I have a special sponsor for today's video, Apollo Silver. This is about 3 minutes long, and then we'll be right back to cover everything else. Apollo Silver is a junior mining company positioned to become a key U.S. supplier of silver, a critical catalyst metal essential for everything from AI data centers and solar energy to missile systems and 5G infrastructure. Apollo controls over 125 million ounces of measured and indicated silver and 57 million ounces inferred in one of the largest undeveloped deposits in the United States. As America races to secure its mineral independence from China, Apollo's Calico project could become a cornerstone of national security, industrial resilience, and investor returns. With additional exposure to barite and zinc, both critical minerals, and a seasoned management team behind billion-dollar exits, Apollo Silver offers asymmetric upside as silver demand explodes. And global demand for silver is exploding. Current supplies coming from the mining sector just can't keep up with demand. Plus, silver had been trading at its most extreme relative undervaluation to gold, a historic 85-to-1 plus ratio just within the past 2 years. Every time this ratio spikes, silver has delivered explosive gains of up to 400%. And this time, Apollo Silver could be the rocket ship. That's why we're talking about America's secret silver reserve. Deep in the Mojave Desert is a forgotten $250 billion silver district, and Apollo Silver is ready to kick it back into production. With 125 million ounces in measured and indicated resources and an additional 57 million ounces inferred, their Calico project could be the asset that reboots American silver dominance. Because silver is becoming a critical national security asset. The Pentagon consumes more silver than many countries produce. With China stockpiling and Trump declaring critical mineral independence, Apollo's U.S.-based silver project is more than a mine. It's a strategic domestic security asset. But Apollo Silver's Calico project isn't just the largest untapped silver resource in the U.S. Their project also holds high-grade barite and zinc, both critical to U.S. energy and defense, giving this stock multiple shots at upside and Fast 41 permitting acceleration. I'm excited to see what the future holds for Apollo Silver. You can learn more about the company at apollosilver.com. The stock trades in Canada with the symbol APGO and in the United States with the symbol APGOF. Thanks to Apollo Silver for sponsoring this video. And what about a perfect storm for silver? We're going to touch on that next. We're also going to cover the double feature out of Hong Kong that can make us all smile for precious metals. We'll hit on the silver miners, and there's one more. Oh, yeah, exactly. Some shocking news, massive news out of one of the world's biggest bullion dealers. But let's talk about this confluence of factors, guys, like we have never seen before for silver right now. Could there be a silver squeeze, right? Let's look at some reasons and examples. And this is an excellent piece that was put together by is it the Smart Silver Stacker? Yeah, the Smart Silver Stacker. He's a fellow YouTuber, very smart guy. He put together a visual for us. Silver's perfect storm. We call it a confluence. He calls it a perfect storm. Whatever it is, it's good for the silver price. And he points out a number of factors that are coming together right now. The United States, and we don't talk about this enough, proposes a 2.5 billion critical market stockpile, right? Silver is now officially a critical mineral in the United States, right? Was put on, at least on review status. I'm not sure 100% that it's officially happened, but nonetheless, it's going to happen on the critical minerals list. The U.S. is relying heavily on silver imports. We import a bulk of the 6,400 tons consumed annually, okay? New investment floodgates. Oh, this is huge, guys, right? This is huge, okay? Because they're talking about potentially making rule changes where people would be allowed to invest 401k funds into more commodity-oriented, silver-oriented investments. But on top of that, I'll also add, and I believe the sleeper that we always talk about, it's a basement exclusive, and that is the future demand that could be generated for silver from the tokenization of silver, where it's backed 100% by real metal and will allow people to carry their silver with them in tokenized form, whether you like crypto or not. I believe that'll be the big story in the coming 5 and 10 years and will represent a massive, massive increase in demand for silver. The silver price has soared, and then down here in the bottom right, we've got the 5-year structural deficit. One more thing that, again, nobody's talking about enough when it comes to silver, and I was shocked to see the amount of silver that's consumed on an annual basis by the jewelry industry. I got an eye for fashion, you can probably tell. And I'll tell you what, silver jewelry will become more and more popular and create more and more demand for silver. Nobody likes to talk about that, tokenization. Nobody likes to talk about jewelry demand. But I'm telling you, these are big, massive sleepers. Those are basement sleepers. They're over there in the corner, right? Remember, somebody's got a video going around. I'm not bragging, okay? I'm often wrong, but somebody has a video going around of me like 3 years ago. It was when I had the Weber bear down here where I sat here and pounded the table and said, silver will get to $85. Okay. And we talked about silver and gold sleeping right over there. You can't see it, but in the corner of my basement. And there's some sleeper factors, tokenization, jewelry, amongst all the other ones that the Smart Silver Stacker so kindly provided us on that outstanding visual that I think are going to lead to unbelievable future moves in the gold and silver price. Okay, let's talk about shocking news out of one of the world's biggest bullion dealers. about the silver market. This is incredible. It came from APMEX, the CEO of APMEX, and there's a lot to unpack here. This was originally been shared everywhere, but I've got one up here from the silver trade. And now I have the right screen shared with you. APMEX post emergency message from the CEO, mandatory $500 order minimum. But that's not really what's interesting. I've got several things highlighted for you. He said this in the letter: silver demand increases have far surpassed gold over the last 6 weeks, leading to historical volume increases. In green, right? He did an update like a week ago. He said, in my last update, I showed optimism that we could be current in the near term with one caveat: unless demand increases. And demand did increase, right? Putting more pressure on our company to provide the service levels you've come to appreciate. This is the CEO of APMEX, one of the world's biggest precious metals bullion dealers. He says in red, as a result, we will have to take some tough decisions. Now we go down here and then there's a lot more. Okay. I'm just trying to hit the highlights with you here. There's a lot highlighted in red. Okay. He says last week from an order count standpoint, it was the fourth highest week in company history. Demand for silver as a percentage of our revenue hit a new all-time high last week. Okay, here, boxed in blue. Effective today, we will be instituting a $500 minimum for online orders. As a result, our output will be, because they supposedly, they're reporting they had some type of incident that's reducing their ability to create silver. There's some speculation, whatever. Okay. He says, I want to thank you for your patience during what is historical volume. One more reference point to drive this home. Just yesterday, Saturday, January 17th, we had our third busiest Saturday in history. Guys, we are in historic times, no doubt, when it comes to the precious metals. But it's not just in the United States. It's not just in the West. It's also in Hong Kong. And I have a question for you. Is Hong Kong part of China? Well, it kind of is and it kind of isn't, but officially it is. And we've got a couple big stories out of Hong Kong, and there's another story that is developing with Hong Kong. We'll touch on that at the end, but we got a Hong Kong double feature. And remember, Hong Kong is officially part of China. Apparently, they were part of the United Kingdom, and then the United Kingdom gave them back to China, I think, in 1997. But Hong Kong has their own legal system, currency, and economic system, but they are part of China. Okay, I'm just reporting the facts. But now for the Hong Kong double feature and what this means for the gold and silver price, here's the first one here. We're going to hear from a man on the street, and then we're going to hear from one of the richest men in Hong Kong, shocking what he is doing with precious metals. Eric Young, King Kong 988, reports Hong Kong's Li Qiang gold dealer, that's a member of the Hong Kong Gold Exchange, sold out of all 200 of its 6-ounce troy ounce bars in the morning within 2 hours. He says this, and I think he's talking to like people in general. Everything I told them for years is correct. They chose to ridicule me instead of buying physical gold and silver to protect themselves and their families. And do you relate to that? We're going to get back to Hong Kong in a second, but let's be real. Silver investors, we were called a cult. We were called crazy. We were ridiculed. I got a feeling that maybe some of my neighbors made fun of me behind my back, which is fine, whatever. But now what we're seeing is a global rush. And take a look at this picture from, what is it, Li Qiang in Hong Kong? People lining up. There's a news person there. I can't read, what is it, Mandarin or Chinese? I'm not sure. I apologize. I don't know how to say what these symbols are. But people that can, it probably says, crazy amount of demand for silver and gold in Hong Kong. Now, what about the smartest people in the room? Let me ask you a question. If you had a neighbor that was a billionaire, congratulations if you do, right? But if you had a neighbor who was a billionaire and you were at the neighborhood swimming pool and your neighbors were, splashing around in the pool, and one of your neighbors came up, not the billionaire, but he said, "Hey, did you hear what Joe Billionaire did? What he bought? What he invested in?" You'd pay attention, right? Because there's a reason why that guy became a billionaire. That's what we're going to do right now from our second part of our Hong Kong double feature today in Ron's basement. We're going to go right here. Hold on one second, to The Edge newspaper, which is from Singapore in Asia. And it says right here, make sure we got you on the right screen. Yes, Hong Kong billionaire puts quarter of his wealth in gold. Now, that's a big deal, but wait, there's more. There's two other reasons why we're going to pay attention to this. And he's a good-looking guy. Here he is. For 3 decades, Chia Chang Hai was a face of value investing. Value investing, remember that, in Asia, building Value Partners Group Limited into a multi-billion-dollar stock-picking powerhouse. This guy became a billionaire by buying good value. Okay, make a note of that in blue. Now, the former fund manager is putting a massive portion of his personal wealth into gold and is advising others to do the same. Precious metals make up a quarter of assets at the 1.4 billion family office through which Chia manages his riches. He's got a quarter of his 1.4 billion fortune. Oh, I should be able to figure that out. So that'd be 250 million. That's $350 million worth of gold. According to people familiar with the matter, a year ago, precious metals were about 15% of his family office portfolio. He says, quote, this is the best part. I was a very patient investor. I bought precious metals, didn't trade them, and considered them part of my lifetime savings. Chia, 71, said in an interview with Bloomberg News. Eventually, the whole thing became larger and larger. Yes, Mr. Chia, I bet it did. Okay. We'll go to the green part next. I just want to point out to you, right? This is a guy who is a value investor, was very successful, made over $1 billion. And what he's telling us is he bought gold. But I think the big message here, because you guys are always asking me, how much gold should I own? How much silver should I own? I'll just tell you and I think it aligns with what he's saying. I always would buy any precious metals that I would buy. I looked at as generational wealth. I've never sold. People say, how do you sell? I'm not an expert on selling precious metals because I've never sold. Okay. Any metal that I may have owned, we keep it off site, but to me, it's generational wealth. It's not something that I'm looking to trade, and look at how that worked for him as well. All right. In green, this is where it gets real interesting. The bullish call on gold makes Chia a distinct outlier in the world of ultra high net worth investing. So he's not the norm. Okay. This guy who made all this money on his own and bought gold, even as bullion keeps hitting record highs. According to UBS Global Family Office Report of 2025, that's the massive Swiss bank, UBS, the average allocation to gold and precious metals was just 2% in 2024. Do you hear a songbird singing in the background? Because my fellow investors in gold and silver, that is actually good news. You may say, what are you, crazy, Ron? They're saying there's only 2% of the wealthy people in the world have their money is it 2%? Hold on, let's go back. 2% of the people or 2% of the money? Let's see. The average of the money, which is even better. So only, shoot. Hold on, guys. Sorry, the technology is screwing up here. Only 2% of the wealthy family money in the world is in gold and silver. That's good news. You know why? Okay. It's the law of small numbers, which is something that we're going to trademark down here in Ron's basement. Okay. Because 2% is a small number. Let's say that the world family offices wake up. The big sheep, that's the big herd, the big herd. Let's say they wake up. And let's say they all of a sudden say, you know what? Like we talked about earlier, guys, These bonds are going down in value. These stocks are going down in value. This real estate, what are we going to do? We'll put it into precious metals. What we'll do, those sophisticated family office, if they go from 2% to 10%, that's 5 times more money coming into the sector. The world is changing like never, ever, ever before. You want some more good news? And this can be good. You may say, well, how could that be good for physical silver in the long run? Okay. I'm going to show you something that is a big deal that's happening right now in the financial world. Those fancy people at hedge funds, those fancy people at those family offices, guys, that could be a flood of money coming into gold and silver, but in particular silver, because silver, excuse me, yet again, did it. Sorry, guys. Let's go check this out. This will put a big, big, big smile on your face. This is the CEO of Scottsdale Mint. Just put this out. Silver is now, once again, the second most valuable asset by market cap in the world, only behind gold. And we are happy to be behind gold. He says a majority of quote unquote financial advisors might be clueless about what is going on and why, and to think the majority of the population doesn't have proper allocation either to the metals. And there it is right there. Hold on. Excuse me. Gold, number one, with a market cap. Hold on. Let's get the markers out. We'll get the crayons out. Gold, right? Number one. I'll circle the number one. Gold, $32 trillion market cap. We're fine with silver being, number two most valuable asset in the world with a $5.3 trillion market cap. Who's in number three? NVIDIA. I want you to think about this. Who's in number four? Google. Who's in number five? Apple. I'm an Android guy, but that's besides the point. Who's in number six? Microsoft. Who's in number seven? Amazon. NVIDIA, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. Do you realize, okay, when people start to wake up and know that those stocks are overvalued, if just a small fraction of those people, and that's just the top five, right, behind gold and silver, in the general markets start to move into the precious metals market, guys, there's just not the room available. It is literally like us right now. We already, look, all you new people, welcome to the basement. This channel, we got 2,000 people. That's big. Okay. Look, 2,000 people are in the basement right now together. We're convening, right, to talk about our favorite thing, gold and silver. The boat is getting crowded. I'm going to start limiting this at 2,000 people per live stream. The boat, 175 likes. Oh, wow. Thank you, Susie. 500. All right, please give this a thumbs up. Upstairs, Susie just chimed in. Hold on. Could you please rally the troops and tell them to get it to 500? Over. He did. Okay. She says I did. Anyway, the boat is getting crowded. Right, it really is a silver and gold lifeboat. Okay, there's no more seats. Okay, when those people want to get in the lifeboat, right? Are you going to give your seat up? Right, the seats are going to get very, very expensive. Now, look, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Always, please be responsible with what you do. Yes, I will ring the gong. I want to say thank you to my channel sponsors that sponsor the gold and silver content. First Mint and First Mining Gold. Okay, we had a special sponsor for today's video, Apollo Silver. I want to say thank you to you for joining me down here. We're going to ring the gong. We're going to continue on an unbelievable ride with gold and silver. But today, because we got 500 thumbs up, we're going to ring the golden gong for continued good luck. 3 times. 600. Whoa! It's a big deal because this channel is exploding. It absolutely is not because of my dynamic personality or boyish good looks. It's because more people are coming into the precious metals. More people are waking up. Okay, that's the reality. That's what's happening right now. What's the guy's name? I'm not Hunter Thompson. Oh shoot. Oh darn it. I can't remember the guy's name. The conservative guy that was on Fox. He's into gold and silver now. Why can I not remember his name? Shoot, hold on. Hey Susie, who's the guy on that used to be on Fox that is like big in silver and gold now? Yeah, he used to be on Fox News. Come on, somebody help me. Oh man. All right, I'll remember next time. Darn it, that's going to drive me crazy. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, thank you for being here. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please do. That helps out the channel. We appreciate it. Everything here is free, right? But your time is not free. Your time is valuable. So thank you for coming down here. Take care. All right. We're in for a wild, good ride in the precious metals. And I will see you, yes, you, next time.